You're listening to Puma Podcast.
Before we begin this episode, a warning. What you're about to listen to contains graphic descriptions of death and violence related to the drug war. On June 30, 2016, Rodrigo Roa Duterte was proclaimed President of the Philippines. True to his campaign promise, he unleashed a war, his war, on illegal drugs across the country. It left thousands of alleged drug users and peddlers dead. Activists say tens of thousands were killed, not all of whom necessarily had anything to do with the crime Duterte said he wanted to fight. Many, mostly from poor villages, were caught in the crossfire, including children and teenagers. Night after night, media workers covered the bloodshed, keeping a record of one of the bloodiest terms in modern Philippine history. The Duterte years produced some of the most troubling and most powerful images. In this special miniseries of Teka Teka, we talk about some of these images, pictures that mattered and that tried to make a difference. The stories behind the images splashed on our screens and newspapers, the kind of mark they left on these journalists, and how they are still trying to make sense of what happened 10 years on.
I'm Rika Concepcion, and I started working in the news and documentary features for foreign television since around 1991. And I specialize really on documentaries rather than single frames, no? And um, and a lot of my works are actually not local. They're actually for foreign companies, Europeans, Americans, and all that. And Daniel Berahulak for New York Times was actually one of my clients. This photo happened in R10. That's the entire stretch of that passes through Manila, Smoky Mountains, and then Navotas. This happened in 2016. We saw a commotion in one of the tents, and we just went to run there, took the shot, but literally, this is the shot na parang we only had like 5 seconds. Because right after that shot, the funeral guys took the coffin right away. Yun na yung moment na tatanggalin na, dadalhin na sa sementeryo. It was the last moment for the family to say goodbye in the space that they occupied because R10 is an indigent community, and a lot of the family of course had a lot of children, and the children around are relatives of the family, and some of them were neighbors, very curious that 'di ba 'pag tatanggalin na, "Go, go, it's the last moment, mag-goodbye na kayo." And this was that moment. Pero yung moment na yun, sobrang confusion. Because of course, I'm sure they didn't know why these guys were going to get that box with a father inside and bring them away. And so, it's like the screams are really the killer for us, no? And you know how when kids are crying, talagang masakit. And me as a mother, it was really, really very painful to actually see the children in tears. And of course, parang hindi nabigyan ng due process, bigla na lang nawala yung father. And how will you really describe it to them? At the time, lahat ng pamilya ayaw magpa-interview. And I think when I started to work on the war on drugs, I was already a widow. And I think yun yung naging strength ko doon. So, naa-approach ko sila in a more practical way. Like I would put my arms around them and I'd say kailangan, tigasan mo yung loob mo kasi kailangan mong ayusin lahat ng papeles ng asawa mo or ng tatay mo, which is very hard. Kasi shock, grief, and then the reality of of, you know, bringing them to the funeral parlor and doing all paperworks. Eh, litong-lito ka pa, you know? And kung hindi mo pa na-experience yun, hindi mo malalaman yung process. But since I knew already that was the strength na nakuha ko or nabigay ko sa kanila, then there will be a bit of trust to actually answer my questions like, anong pangalan niya, ano ang nangyari, this and that. Unfortunately for that, they gave us only specific information and didn't want to tell the story of how it is. And then after that, they left the community. When it came out, among the very graphic images of the war on drugs, it actually took the attention of the government. It was the photo that they said, no, this is altered. May red kasi, nilagyan ng filter and all that. The red thing is yung mga trapal, yung mga tents na pinapahiram ng barangay sa mga burol, and the entire R10 was full of this. And that was taken like maybe 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So the heat was so high, the sun was so high na nag-reflect yung red or orange na trapal that gave that kind of image. It was the only photo that we didn't have time to really take. And for me, it's a very strong photo that I'd always return to because first, it's like that was the photo that was just like that. You have that moment, you know, and that was the shot. This particular one to actually also freeze that moment of the little girl and all the other kids around it, yung talagang emotion nila, yung very raw moment. I've been to parang mga wars in Mindanao and all that. A lot of it was fear. Pero nagagamitan mo ng utak mo na this and that, saan tayo, this, kapag may ganito, anong gagawin. Dito wala. Talagang wala because it happens rampantly. Talagang sunod-sunod, takbo ka dito, takbo ka doon. In a night, you have like many crime scenes. And in a lot of the crime scenes, you don't have only just one person dead. You have like four, sometimes 10. There was even one night it went to 21. There was an influx of photographers, and mostly they're identified as war photographers. We don't have a war here, but there's this project that's called the War on Drugs. Gabi-gabi talaga ang daming namamatay. Nakaka-shock lang talaga at saka the process of how they were killed is even, more questionable in my mind. Parang how could a human being do that when there's no war? I'm just a producer, but my real reaction is to actually be a human and to be able to make them feel better. So on the side, I would go to friends and raise money to pay for part of the funeral or the wakes of some of the victims. This whole event made me more human also. When somebody asked me about the former President Duterte in The Hague, syempre sabi ko, of course, I want justice. Because if the family of the victims don't get it and us Filipinos don't get it, it means that entire time of my life did not exist. Kasi it's telling me na, no, that's fake. You mean all that nights, all that stories, all that screams that I heard, all that stench smell is not real? Yun yung parang nakakapikon. And that means I've been sleeping for 4, 5, 6 years of my life.
You've been listening to Pictures That Matter, a special mini-series on Teka Teka. I am Josette Enano, the producer of this episode, and our video editor is Ron Labiano. We are taking time to mark the 10th anniversary of the war on drugs. Not so much to look back, but to acknowledge the continuing efforts to pursue justice and accountability for the thousands of Filipinos killed. For stories that matter, subscribe to Teka Teka on Spotify or the Puma Podcast channel on YouTube. Maraming salamat po.